Hello everyone, Emme Rogers here with some extreme cold weather photography tips. I spent last week up in the Haliburton Highlands where I experienced some extreme Canadian cold weather, and as a result I learnt a few new tricks. First of all, you'll see right now I have a great big mittens on, which I'm sure most of you would think, how am I going to handle a camera with these great big mittens on? And obviously I can't. So what I've done is underneath my big mittens are a pair of gloves. And so this is what I'm using to handle my cameras and my iPhones, because these are like those touch gloves that you can touch the screens and everything with. However, they are not warm enough for me in these kind of extreme cold weathers. And in fact, there was one time where I was handling the camera with these gloves and I had it off way too long while we were traveling at quite a speed, because we were going dog sledding, and so there was breeze going over it. And they got so cold that when I finally put them back inside the mittens, and I actually had a little, that's the other tip, is have some little hot shots, little hand warmers inside these gloves. And when I put it back in there with the hand warmers, I got that extreme pain feeling that you get when you've gotten too cold and then slowly start to thaw out and warm up again. You almost want to scream from the pain. So that's one of my photography tips. This really meant that I had a really enjoyable time while I was up in the outdoors in the Haliburton Highlands, as opposed to constantly thinking and feeling cold. So that's one tip. Another tip is, this is just a prop camera I have here, but at one point in time, because I'm the main camera I'm filming with, but at one point in time I had one of the huskies went like this and licked my camera because he was overexcited, and of course what that meant was as soon as his saliva hit the lens, it froze instantly. And obviously a frozen lens is not going to do me much good. I was only halfway through my dog sledding experience, and I wanted to take more video, more photographs. I did not want that to be the end of my photography day. And so I tried wiping it off on my long underwear, no lock. I tried slightly wetting my long underwear and wiping it off, and that actually caused a worse problem with more frozen ice over my lens. And so finally I remembered those hot shots I had in my gloves, and I haven't got one of the hot shots with me right now, so we're going to pretend this is a hot shot. And what I did is I gently placed it on the lens and let it warm up a little bit, and then once it was warmed up, I took my cloth and I just wiped around it, and most of the ice came off. I think I had to stick it back on and warm it up again for a minute or two, and then I was able to wipe the rest of the of the ice off, and so I was happy again and able to take photos and video again, which I'm sure I'll share with you soon. The other thing that I was told, that, because what if you don't have hot shots on you? Luckily I did. Apparently the way to do it, I learned from some other people who have done photography in extreme cold, is if you haven't got that, then what you do is you take your mouth, you go really close to the lens, you go so all that hot air comes out, and you quickly, with your little lens cloth, wipe everything off and get it all clear. So, and for me, this was an extra big problem because I usually have two cameras, the other one being my iPhone. And what happened that particular day is, of course, as often happens when you're in the extreme cold weather, your smartphone goes off. And so, because the battery in this does not like the extreme cold weather. So one of the things I learned from that is, I think on future trips, I would put my backup camera, because I sometimes do want this one, I sometimes want things with it. I would stick it in an inside pocket close to my body in my coat. So a lot of people will have a little inside pocket they can slip it on, which I actually just found and I didn't realize was here, on the inside of the coat. And then what I do is I would have another hand warmer or foot warmer in the form of a hot shot, and I would stick it inside that pocket with the cell phone camera and then zip everything back up. The hotshot may need to be taken out occasionally and shaken in the air because they work off of oxygen, so that's sort of what sets off a little warming chemical reaction. So that's what I would do to get that all nice and warm inside. And those, my friends, are my extreme cold weather photography tips for today. So thank you, and safe travels in the snow and ice. Bye for now.